often say to women in Nigeria that the knowledge of cooking does not come pre-installed in a vagina. And so the idea being that domestic skills are learned. Anybody can learn them. And if we raise boys very early on to know that this is expected of them, not something they do to get praise, not something they do when it's cute, but just something they do. I've seen many progressive families where, because the boy has cleaned his room, he gets excessive praise. That idea that a boy cleans his room and he gets praise. Why? I think that we should raise boys to know that we expect domestic abilities from them.
So this video talks about, highlights a lot of things that I talk about regarding, being now 2024 and on, really being intentional about raising our sons to normalize doing work at home, or in relationships offering support to the woman to be able to do the heavy lifting of the day-to-day of raising kids, like cleaning, cooking, taking kids to activities, things like that. Make it make sense when in this time of age when women have to still go to work full-time, pay most of the time half of the bill, sometimes depending on the phase, pay more than half of the bills in the home, and still be expected to come home and do second and third shift by doing the heavy lifting of the kids, cooking, cleaning, washing them, nighttime routine, morning time routine, driving them to activities, driving them to school, going to appointments, going to conferences, going to teacher period, and men just check out. Like, okay, all they're gonna do is to do their work, 40-hour work or whatever, and just come home, and that's it, and expect other privileges as well alongside what being a committed relationship comes with, including intimacy. Please raise your sons, raising awareness of helping them verbalize emotions, getting into activities, working with sons to make sure it's okay to clean the kitchen, wash the dishes, vacuum, clean the bathroom. As they grow, if they can't do it anymore, they can offer cleaning services to their wives, to their girlfriends, to their fiancés, cooking services, eating out, ordering in, just taking something off the plate, finding a babysitter, paying for the babysitter, giving the woman a break. All these essentials that nourishes relationship, not just shoving it down the woman's throat just because you have a dingling, just entitles you to all these privileges because you're a man, and then demand respect on top of it. Demand that the woman and the children submit to you when you are not submitting to what it looks like to have a flourishing home, a flourishing relationship, a flourishing legacy to raise the children. A lot of our men, especially African men, are delusional, controlling, manipulating, gaslighter, just checked out completely, and just feel still entitled because the role impacts. The role impacts, and sometimes you as a woman can feel under the threat of being silenced, can feel even physical threats. This is why some women get unalive, because they speak up, because they fight back, because they get tired, get overwhelmed, and when they speak up, they are seen as being too cantankerous, too verbal, too independent, too good for themselves, not humble enough, not respectful. But yet, what we don't regard it as a society is what that woman had to put up with to make that marriage work, so they make that family keep going. And they say, oh, that's the matriarchy of the family. But this is why a lot of women start to have chronic illnesses, cancers, high blood pressure, obesity, autoimmune disorders, because of all this stuff. And this can be stopped by teaching our sons to normalize being able to do the bare minimum, being able to show up to the table of intimate partner relationship to minimize intimate partner violence, which the research shows a lot of time happens, especially after having kiddos. The men start to check out. They rather be at work. They rather be with the boys. They rather be out there checking out porn or gambling away or hanging out in the clubs or on the go, or just getting into hobbies that just take them away, or getting into careers or businesses that take me away from the home for weeks, months at the end. Checking out, being with a side chick. It's easier than taking accountability and being completely present to help the woman to offer that consistent, kind, loving, empathetic support. A lot of women relegate to going to church to pray about it, but praying about it without intentional, actionable steps doesn't help solve the problem. When you still have to contribute 50% or more than 50% of your quota to keep the household going in terms of money, the burden becomes restful on the woman, and then this is why the rate of femicide and unaliving of women gets so high, because women get overwhelmed and tired. And some of the churches take advantage of this, because that's why 90%, over 50 to 60% of the congregation in the church are women crying on their knees, praying for change for their children, for their partners, but this never happens, and they fall through the cracks. And some of these people even end up taking their little money in replacement in hopes for some type of a miracle that never happens. And this can be solved barely by just changing the narrative of how we raise our sons from the get-go to normalize this. That's my point this morning. So much love. As we share this, share, like, subscribe, so we can normalize some of this stuff with our sons, with our men. Bye.